Hi everyone. I'm going to show how to add brackets in Revit MEP. So I'm going to just choose the electrical model. So as you can see, I have them added here on the ground floor. And what I want to do is I want to replicate that. I have a little bit of a different layout, but I want to replicate it as bestly as I can on the first floor. So the ground floor is done by two kind of brackets. So around the back here, you'll see why I have a tiered bracket here, because we have a fire alarm cable tray at a higher elevation than the other two. For just this run here at the back, which is this run here on the ground floor. However, on the first floor, I don't do that. I snake around the things we were clashing around here. Just this was an exercise just to show how cost saving it is actually to do what I've done on the ground floor against what it is here on the first floor. So it's just an interesting cost saving exercise just to show are extra additional bends like this more efficient, or is it more efficient to do less bends and add in an extra tier in the brackets. That was a separate video, but this one will just make it a little bit more complicated, that I can't just copy from below and place above. I want to start from scratch, putting them in, and then show the 3D of the brackets being added as we go along. I'll call out the things I'm doing as best I can. So I'm just going to turn on my section box now. Actually, I don't want to use my export view. I'm going to use my 3D view. And I'm going to turn on, my section box. I'm just going to hide the ground floor just so we can see the first floor. That's the level we're talking about. And then I'm going to turn back off the section box here just to give it a little bit more clean. We're going to start around here. We'll get it right in the tricky parts, and then we'll just keep our brackets kind of spaced about 1200 apart as best we can. In some cases, we're going to have to be a little bit longer than 1200, and then the rest of it will be fine. And we'll just show how we can copy from one side to the other then, so we'll use our tools. Okay, so I know the bracket is a generic mod, so I want to go to families. I want to go to generic mod. I have a choice between my usual bracket, a double, a slim, or standard, but I'm just going to use standard here, and I'm just going to drag it across. Hitting spacebar will rotate it 90 degrees, or if you rotate it incorrectly, you can simply click on it, use the rotate, and change it to 90, and it'll rotate 90 degrees. So whatever is handier for you. In here, I've just placed it. I haven't done anything special. I'm just going to place and draw. And I'm going to need a section. So I have my section here. I'm going to need my section just so I can line that up to the bottom of the containment, so you can see I'm a good bit off. I'll just drag up this so we don't need to see the irrelevant floor. I'm going to use my align tool. I'm going to select the bottom, do here this, and it'll go up. Right, so there we go. Now we can change our rod lengths if they're not long enough. We can change them to 1000 and then go up to the ceiling. So we just want to make sure that we're not going too high. Now that's a bit too high maybe, so we want to drop it down. What we'll do is we get a measurement. Well, we want to measure the rod, which is here to here, 856. So if we go to say 865, we should be fine. So give us a look at that. 865, it chews a little bit, maybe 870. We go 880. Right. So okay. So protrude, yeah, that's a nice bit. What are we talking there? Okay. And if we go wireframe, what are we talking here? 24. Okay, we'll go 885. We'll go 30 mil. Okay, so now we have 30 mil. Lovely. So that's our brackets lined up. I'll just change back to realistic. That's our cable tray and our bracket placed. As you can see here in 3D, we know we're lined up to the bottom of the containment, and we know we are in the ceiling to the height we want to be. Okay, so once you get one placed, we can close our section now, because you don't actually need to. We're going to copy this one along, so we don't really need to place them all the way, because we can see our cable trays at the same height all the way along. So copying this one once it's lined up is not a bad idea. Now I am going to move it, because this is a bend piece. I'm just going to sort the hard parts out. The straight pieces aren't a problem, but getting as tight to 1200 as I can at a funny bend. For example, here you can see the cable tray, the threaded rod will protrude the cable tray above, which give be a clash in Navisworks, which means it wouldn't be possible to install it like that on site. So for that reason, we want to bring it out as much as we can, just to allow our spacing, and then we want to pull this one in. But we also want to maintain as close as we can. We don't want to just tag across. We want to maintain, first of all, something that's easy to install, something that's about 1200. So if we say, okay, let's make this 1280, because we can get that on a measuring tape, nice and easy. So that's fair enough. We just lock that and delete. So we know that's 1280 apart, which isn't too bad. We were looking to maintain 1200. So the same here, we just go 1200. What have we got? We've got that. Now, can we stretch this part 1200 across? Not really. So for here, instead of being 1200, what we'll have to do is we might have to go to maybe, so we 159, because it's measure center to center, but we'll just take it here. Right, so if we make this one something like that, and then we make this one here 1200, it tidies it up, right? And again, all of those measurements are easy to maintain on a measuring tape. You know, we're not given 1139.5 or anything weird that's hard to get on a measuring tape. We want to keep this so somebody installing can use our dimensions and install nice and easy. And again, this one is just slightly too far, so I want to pull that one back a bit. Maybe back more. Right, okay. So there we go. Oh, lock that. Okay. So now we have around our bends installed, nice and tricky. We've allowed a little bit of space, nice and easy. So running from here, you can see them installed here, as you can see. And then running from here to the bend should be nice and easy. So that's just copying this one. And we shouldn't have an issue just maintaining 1200. So we just go 1200, 1200, 1200. And on the left side, you can see them populating. We will just do one, maybe 800. And then we'll do one as close as we can to the side of the bend. Then we just go 1200. Sorry, I should have moved this just here so you can see what we're talking about. So now we're that side. So now we want to copy 1200. Okay. So now we've added our brackets, as you can see. Now we want to do the same for this row here, which is actually this row here. So I'll just turn that so you can see them populate along this row. So I'm going to copy this. We know the height is right, it just needs to be rotated. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to use the rotate function I showed at the start of the video, rotate 90 degrees. And I'm just going to drag it up here. This part isn't really important for measurement. I just want to get nice and tight to the bend, and then I want to make sure that I am 50 mil away from my threaded rod. So at the moment I'm 100. I just want to change that to 50. Now I'll lock and delete. And here I want to do the same. I want to be just 50, not 66. Sometimes it just makes it my life difficult. So So we just tab it across until this dimension says 50. Oh, that was so close. There we go. And I will just lock and delete this one. Okay, so that's 50-50. You can see it there. Now you're going to see this row here populate from start to finish. So again, we're going to just go from here. I'm just going to pull right down to the end, and I'm just going to go 1200. And on the left side in here, you're going to see that populate from top to bottom, or from right to left, if you like. Right, so we just go 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200, and they populate across. Now, just to show, once you've got these ones right, you don't have to do that 1200 again. You can just select these. So I'm selecting one at a time, holding down Control as I select the next one, just highlighting, selecting. So for that, I just want to highlight those. So I want to highlight all my brackets on this side, so you can see them all highlighted, and I want to copy them and place them here in one sweep. So I'm going to hit my copy, I'm going to select the end side of that. I'm going to come across here to the inside of this one, and they go straight in. So that's them placed right away there. No need to do 1200. So if I was copying, if I had another floor, I could just do the same thing, just copy these and just do it from a section view, copy them straight up. So if you know you've got typical floors, typical layouts, you can use the copy and paste. I wanted to show you how to do it manually, just so you could get a good understanding of it. It's really quick, and there isn't, like, there's not really much in it, placing brackets, but they're very important. So what I would ask you to do if this video has been helpful is to drop a like and subscribe. If you need to see anything else, please feel free to reach out in the comments. DM me on Instagram, or you can reach me on TikTok. I'm Tripping Switches on all platforms, the same as my YouTube. So take care, and thanks for watching.